There were face-melting altcoin seasons. The last two times this happened on the Bitcoin dominance chart and on the USDT dominance charts. In this video, I'm going to break down why this crypto bubbles is absolutely nothing compared to what we could see in the next 2 to 3 weeks if these things start to really play out. We're also going to look at which cryptos are potentially poised for the next big leg up and how to FOMO into those coins that we feel we may be a little bit late for. Hit that like button and let's get into today's video. Now guys, I know I've been pushing you really hard to subscribe to my channel and to give me a follow over on Twitter. Twitter link down below in the description. We're now nearly at the 5,000 followers, so thank you very much for that. And I will be doing that cash giveaway at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around for that. Now, first of all, I want to drag us across to looking at some very useful information over on Twitter. I brought this guy up the other day, El Crypto Prof, and he was talking about basically bouncing off these EMAs for the Bitcoin dominance. This reminded me of a video that I made a couple of weeks ago when we were looking at the USDT dominance. So I decided to get a bit nerdy and get into my charts and see what was going on in both the Bitcoin dominance and the USDT dominance charts. On the bottom, we've got the Bitcoin dominance, and on the top, we've got the USDT dominance. Now, what does this mean? Effectively, you have the entire crypto market with a certain amount of money in it, the market cap. Bitcoin has a large portion of that. In fact, right now, it's around 51.9 or 52% of the entire market cap. The dominance is how much of that market cap is Bitcoin, more or less. The top, USDT, same deal, currently at 6.4%. And if it's more or less, that kind of thing. Now, looking into the top chart, I appreciate if this is on your phone or something like that, or you've got bad eyes, this might be a little bit difficult to see, but just bear with me. The USDT at the top, this orange line is the 50 exponential moving average. So it takes all of these weeks together and it makes an average and then creates this line. Now what we can see is every time in the past, USDT has fallen below that orange line. I've put a blue line in its place here, 1, 2, 3. So Monday the 14th of December, 2020, Monday the 9th of August, 2021, and very recently we had one on Monday the 23rd of August. Sorry, Monday the 23rd of October, which is when I made a video about this. Notice down below as well where the Bitcoin dominance sits at these points in time. I've put red lines on this Bitcoin dominance chart at exactly the same point. So now we see what's happening. USDT dominance falls. That means people are taking money out of USDT and then moving it into like Bitcoin and the altcoins. Every time we've got one of these blue lines. Now, let's close it up and look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart, you'll see that the USDT dominance falling under also seems to have an impact on what's going on in the Bitcoin dominance price as well, because we get these big falls like this each time. And then we're getting one right now, bouncing from this blue line. This blue line is really significant to us because this has been a downtrend since the 27th of February 2017. You can see that we bounced off it and you can see that we're running into resistance again. And this, like last couple of weeks where this has been dropping, is what's causing a very big aggressive push in the altcoins. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin's going to sell off and drop. It actually means that Bitcoin can continue, but the altcoins are going to do something very interesting. Now get it guys, I'm speaking pretty quickly. You're probably like, why is this bloke so excited about some charts on a computer? Because what it means, guys, it's going to mean something very big. And I'm getting there. Just have the patience. Stick with me. The more you understand about what's really going on in the bigger, wider market, it means you can execute your trades more calmly, more collectively. And that's what's going to help you to be overall successful in the future. Bitcoin USD, again, you can see I've drawn these blue lines. Remember, those blue lines are when USDT drops under that EMA, and also we have big pullbacks in the Bitcoin dominance. So why is this important? Well, look at these points. Bitcoin is rallying. You can see it comes after a Bitcoin rally has already been taking place for a little bit of time. And then suddenly this blue line arrives and then Bitcoin goes up really far. You can see we have a big push. The blue line arrives about a third of the way into it, and then suddenly another big push. And now you can see that we have kind of been going up for a bit. In fact, we've actually been going up for longer. The blue line arrives. What do we anticipate happening next? Any ideas? Well, this is my idea. This is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin. So that's like 49% of the entire crypto market in this chart, not including Bitcoin. This is the altcoins, okay? What this means for us is very, very interesting because look at the blue lines. Okay, these 3 times USDT drops underneath the EMA. So what? Well, look, that was like 2 weeks ago. we started to move up. And since then, we've seen like Casper up 100 and something percent. Since then, we've even seen like XRP up. We've seen loads of coins having a very good rally as that money flows out of Bitcoin and USDT back into the alts. This is really exciting because look, the first time this happened, we had altcoins going like that. 774% increase in the market cap of all altcoins. And then the second time it happens, we have another 70%. Bearing in mind at that point, the market's already worth quite a lot of money. You can see that we've been in this pattern like this for a while. We've been coiling up, and effectively we are well on our way to breaking higher. If this has a good solid break, the next kind of pattern I would be looking for would be kind of in and around these range of these lower highs previously. That, considering what we've seen in the last kind of couple of weeks or so, which has resulted in an 11% in the total market cap push on this, but resulted in like hundreds of percent moves in Casper. We've seen Solana doing like a 2 or 3x in that period of time. You can see, guys, that could mean another like 50% money flowing into the market. So what does that mean for us? It means that the things we've seen in the last week or two could be very irrelevant compared to what we're about to see potentially in the next month, maybe more. Who knows? Okay, we'll see, taken with a pinch of salt. Don't invest without doing your own research, or at least having an understanding that we could also invest and maybe the market can go down against us. It's important because lots of people don't realize this. Now, as we look across the charts, there's a few kind of bigger altcoins, and I'm going to focus more on the kind of top 100 in this video for good reason. Because right now, there are kind of smaller altcoins that are doing really well. And, you know, I'm happy for you if you got in early to them. I do think they're going to have continued upside. But the problem with sort of smaller caps outside the top 100, outside the top 200, is if you kind of dive into it, it's already done like a 5 or 6x and it pulls back on you, which it can do. Because of its small market cap, it can do it very, very quickly, and it's going to knock the confidence and wind out of your sails. Remember, I made a video the other day. We've got around 670 to 730 days from now of bull market to go. So don't go wreck yourself. Remember, we need to be a bit patient, but there is a good push potential right now. So I thought I'd bring it to you. Don't want to be too negative all the time. Looking to Chainlink. We saw Chainlink have a good move the other day. We understood what was driving behind Chainlink because, one, we've been in this consolidation pattern for a while, and we saw a big increase in the TVL, or total value locked. And you're like, well, what is total value locked? How can I find out more? Now, if you come across to DeFiLlama.com, which is a real website, not sure about the name, but it is a great website, shows us the total value locked. And you can go look at like Bitcoin, whatever, and we can see once the total value locks increase, we're starting to see those projects pushing. This, for example, is Cardano, which has been kind of quiet this year compared with others, but you can see the TVL, or value locked in it, is getting bigger and bigger all the time. So what does that mean for us? Well, total value locked is a good indicator because this can kind of sometimes happen before we start to see moves in the price, that we could be about to see more growth. We saw the same for Chainlink earlier on this year, and that was in line with basically this kind of period of accumulation. We suddenly saw a big breakout. The more kind of total value locked and pressure that's building behind the doors, you can more likely get a very big aggressive push. Once we've had these bigger aggressive pushes though, there's always a potential for a chance of a pullback. And what I say when I say a pullback, this is Chainlink. Just while we look at it, back in August 2020, you can see that had a very nice rally from this point of COVID all the way up about 900%. It then pulls back in a very swift period of time, 56%. Now, I'm saying if you want to be putting into any crypto right now, that you've got to be able to stomach this 56% move, or 64% in fact, move where it might happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, just saying you've got to be ready for it, because no matter how good your crypto might sound, it can happen to you. However, from there, back to the highs, you still get your 170%. So it might mean that you're stuck in the game for a little longer, but that's what your risk is, okay? Or you could just DCA in, say you got $200 at this point, you put in $100, it falls down, you put in another $100, and then you got like $150 in here, it goes up, 7x. Then you're happy. Now, a few things to be aware of. Right now, we're seeing massive rallies in a lot of different coins. Problem with likes of Chainlink, you can see, are running into these areas. Now, I did say this with Solana. I thought we would pull back in this area. Lo and behold, Solana kind of went all the way through and just made me look like an absolute mug. But that's all right, okay? If it goes through, then we're probably going to get towards this level. And that's if Bitcoin can really push towards 48K. I think it's not outrageous that you're going to see Chainlink do this. And if you're really stressing and you really want to be getting into your likes of Casper right now, now I did say before I was anticipating a bit of a pullback in and around this kind of area here, basically here and then there. Notably, the first pullback was only around 38%. And then the second pullback was in fact even smaller, around 24%. And then since then, Casper has basically actually had my pants down and gone and done 183%. Now, as you know, if you subscribe to my channel, I'm very cautious of looking at charts that look like this, because you have a very good chance after big rallies of a bigger pullback. The bigger the rally, the bigger the pullback. Now, obviously, Casper is having a really good run right now, but what we want to see it do, I don't want to see it do, obviously, if you're in this, you want to kind of see it go up forever and then eventually sell the top and become a multi-millionaire and, you know, do all that good stuff. But what we want to do, if we really want to FOMO into Casper right now, is wait for something like this. This is Rollbit. I'll give you an example. Is we want to look for an area where we can establish some area of support like this. Now, with Rollbit, it was kind of easier because we had that previous high, we dipped back down and we ripped up, and then we established a support zone. Now, this wouldn't have been a bad time to buy because I do actually anticipate that Rollbit is going to carry on going higher from here after putting in these little tops. And then you could be currently sat something like 15 to 16% up without any sort of clear breakout going on right now. Now, obviously, if you've been FOMOing into Casper, like here, at any good point so far, you're up, okay? But everyone's up right now because it's at all-time highs and continuing to grow. But there's obviously going to be a chance at some point that it's going to have a little cool off. Now, whether it cools off back to about halfway through that candle, that could be a good point to buy at. 50% of the original big candle, if we're in a very strong move, can be an all right place to sort of DCA in. But personally, I still would say I'm happier not to be in, and I'm happy for people who are making money in it. But I don't want to chuck money into a coin that is that hard up, because maybe tomorrow it comes back on you, and I don't want to be stuck in that. If it comes back like 15 to 20%, then fine. That may be a good point to be able to have a crack. And you can see it does that all the time. It pushed back down here, 20%. Yeah, that's a dip you want to be buying, potentially. Okay, you then get your run up here. It has another push. Eventually, we'll have another little decrease down, and then you can just get into it. But what I'm seeing in terms of total value locked and most movement going on right now is in Solana and in Avalanche. And I'll talk about Avalanche in just a minute. Solana, guys, has already been booming, and as you can see, it's been absolutely rallying. Part of the things that are driving this move in Solana are the ecosystem, the projects on the ecosystem. Now, I talked about these the other day in a video I made about the Solana ecosystem. Since then, we see Orca has absolutely boomed around 114%. We've got Solend having put in this wick, which was pretty aggressive, all the way up like that, where it went up around 66% and then a pullback. And then this one, Marinade, again, have all had incredible moves. Has basically nearly had like a 4x, okay? Now, because the ecosystem of Solana has been growing really aggressively from this sort of downtrend, there might be a chance that we could again see some form of a cooling off. But where would I see the biggest growth? If I'm really backing Solana right now and I want to have a bit more of a risk exposure, then I would look for the smaller cap projects built on Solana. Now, Avalanche, you'll see, compared with Solana, is kind of lagging behind a bit, has had a really good push recently, but still not quite up there with Solana. And there's projects behind Avalanche, the likes of Trader Joe, the likes of Benchy, which we talked about in a video a couple of days ago, the likes of Yak, the likes of Yak token, which have absolutely been rocketing these last kind of few weeks as well. Things could be very exciting. But word of caution. I know it's very easy when the markets are moving towards the upside to feel like there's no possible downside risk. I'm saying that right now, if you've not been involved and you are trying to FOMO in, which is what you're probably going to do anyway, there's potentially a way that you can do it more calmly, and this is what I'm trying to do in this video. Now, for the whole year, I've told you to be very cautious to buy those big green candles, because afterwards you get big red ones. And it's, takes a bit of patience. Personally, whether I would go and FOMO into those coins, having already gone up like 40, 50%, I probably would tend to say no and be like, fine, there's always another coin. Lots of these people who've got involved in these coins are telling you oh, you're a dumbass, you completely missed it, blah, blah, blah. If you missed it, you're not a dumbass. You're more of a dumbass if you dive in late than you are missing it. But there are a few coins that are yet to really show any kind of push. But now I've kind of covered the degen stuff. If you're kind of more reserved and perhaps a little more cautious, this is what I would be personally looking at right now. Got Mana Decentraland, which actually in the last bull market had a crazy, crazy run from this green area. And you can see that from its top, which it was actually like a legit boom all the way up to $5.8, it's still got a massive potential here. What we've seen that's actually very normal and very nice to see on a chart is we had a breakout here. And then from there, we had a pullback and that allowed us to then retest. Now, what we would see potentially would be this move now, which I would see as taking us to around 70 cents. Maybe if times are good, we can move up to around 80 to 90 cents. Maybe even you could anticipate a push towards $1 or more. So you potentially get to a 3x out of Mana Decentraland very, very quickly. Also, you got things coming out like Apple VR headset releases and stuff like that. So Metaverse tokens could be very promising. Now, one coin that just doesn't get the attention that it probably deserves anymore because it's not so exciting and not so sexy and people don't really want to talk about it. Ethereum, guys, no matter how much you want to tell me how many transactions and how much faster this and that is and all that good stuff, Ethereum is going to do damn well in this bull market, given the size of its market cap and given like all the other stuff. This is going to be like an institutional favorite, okay? If you got like $500 in the bank, this is not going to make you a millionaire for sure, but hear me out. If you were to be like one of the more cautious people right now and you just want to have a solid, good bit of gain. Now look at this, guys. We were talking about this with Ethereum the other day, and Ethereum is doing exactly what it's supposed to do right now. This was back in the inner circle on the 16th of October when Ethereum was about here, and I said it was going to bounce, retest this kind of downtrend here, break higher. Said the same. Bitcoin pointed out that Avalanche was in this buy zone here and we would likely be pushing to that level or maybe even that level, which is literally played out in the last week or so. But what I want to get across, not just that you should be in the inner circle, which is linked down below, just $9.99. If you want to get those calls before they happen like that, make sure you click down below, guys. Absolute no-brainer. But this, we are pushing, this was the point at which I made that call, into a very big and obvious pattern. Now, this might not be that obvious for you if you're new to charts and whatever, but this, guys, is pretty much an ascending triangle, okay? An ascending triangle at the bottom of a correction, and then you got these kind of like higher lows, okay? This is bullish, okay? Shows that like people are willing to buy it at higher levels each time, and now it's coming to this area of resistance here. Now, the technical target for this pattern here is if I take the height of this triangle and I bring it up to about a breakout point. Now you can see that that would run into pretty much this resistance point for Ethereum. From current levels, that would be a 67 to somewhere around a 77% move. Now, if you're a bit more cautious, this is probably where I would be hedging my bets because 77% probably going to happen sooner rather than later. And if worst case scenario, World War III, the world goes under, eventually you're going to see Ethereum resurface, which means it's pretty much 77% win to basically a 0% risk. And really, you're going to see continuation in Ethereum. It's pretty obvious that Ethereum is going to be heading up somewhere towards kind of these levels of around sort of $7,500 to $8,000 down the line. From current levels, you're looking at like a 273% push. But I get it, okay? That doesn't sound very exciting when I'm in the world of crypto, but if you're a bit more cautious, there's damn good opportunities everywhere. Now, remember, there's not financial advice, okay? Don't want to see any tears or sadness because you bought after this video because I 100% told you to buy anything and then you came back wrong. I 100% can be and have been wrong in the past. So, I could be wrong. You need to protect yourself. Don't put money in that you can't afford to lose. What do I mean? If you can't pay your rent next month, don't put that money in. If you can't eat next month, don't put your money in. If you can't buy your kids Christmas presents or whatever next month, December, don't put that money in, okay? It's money you can't afford to lose. If, however, you've given up smoking and now you've got an extra £10 a week, or you've decided to get a little side job putting up Christmas lights, which Beerhezzer, great YouTuber, talked about doing last year, made loads of money doing it, but then by all means, have a shot, have a crack. Who knows? But things are looking very exciting. But looking at past data, things are looking very promising. Now, as promised, I said I would do the spin the wheel giveaway for whoever commented on the videos with the favorite cryptos. And this is one of those videos from that series, guys, which you can see 3 days ago. I'm just going to take that link. I'm going to drop it in there. And you can see using this random raffle picker, we're just going to click start. And then we come across Cozy, come here. So congratulations, asking for some H-bar. Make sure you give me a message over on Twitter so I can verify it's a you. Congratulations. I'll also leave a comment down below. I'll send you $200 worth of H-bar as promised. Also, if you're not holding a hardware wallet right now, then guys, I 100% recommend that you get yourself a hardware wallet. Now that we're moving into bull market phases and we're getting more money in the game, you need to protect yourself and not just use exchanges. Various exchanges in the past, FTX, Celsius, BlockFi, and others all went under. You've seen other sort of fear and stuff about crypto.com and others going around right now. Make sure you protect yourself hardware wallet. This is a decent wallet, comes with a fingerprint scanner, which is obviously very James Bond, works with your iPhone or Android device, and it basically holds over 3,000 different cryptocurrencies. They're also doing an Algorand airdrop right now to celebrate the launch of Algorand on this particular wallet. It holds HBAR and basically every other coin out there that you want to be keeping. It's partnered up with Algorand, Near Protocol, and some other very big names in the game. And it's one of the most highly rated wallets out there. If you use that link down below, you'll get an exclusive House of Crypto discount. I hope you enjoyed that video today. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.